Hi everyone and welcome back. Okay, we're gonna do lots of molds one by one in the videos. We're gonna start with these cutting boards. This has become one of my best sellers. People love it. It's just such a pretty decoration for your kitchen. And because summer's coming, we are gonna do summer beach theme one. So you can see here I have a lot of shells. These ones, if my camera wanna focus, these ones are shells that I took here at the beach. I went to the beach and I've got all of them. We've got some chunkies as well. First of all, something that I didn't know and I've learned is do not expect this to be smooth unless you put really flat ones that you can dip in, that when you put it like this is smaller than your mold. So this one probably is gonna be completely covered. Maybe some of these ones too, you can always test them, but this one, for example, it won't be covered. This one, yes, it will be. This one definitely no. So theme is just on the purpose of how beautiful it is, but all the decoration that you're gonna put is all gonna be chunky and bespoke. I have here so many different mica powders I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use real sand as well, sand from the beach. That's one of the things that I loved as well, and it just makes everything looks really natural. So I'm gonna use pearl white for the waves, but this one is just like a second step. I'm gonna put a little bit of a decking in the sand just to make it a little bit more glowy. And then we have sapphire blue, gold blue, dry deep blue, fantasy blue, and bright blue. Will I use all of them? I am not sure, because if I place them like this, I don't know if you can see it, but these two are really similar. Just one shines and this one has a more of like a turquoise view as well. So I might, because of the gold, I might take this one off and just stick with these four, and obviously make it like from darker to brighter, so it will kind of look this way. And then will be the sand here, which let's say is gonna be this color, and then the waves all over the blue one. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm getting my room to room temperature, because obviously you have to be really careful with that if you want this to cure properly and stay properly. And as well, I am prepping all of my materials. I always tend to start recording and don't have half of my materials ready, and it's a big mess. So get all your tools ready before you do anything, especially before you mix your epoxy. I'm going to be using artisan epoxy. Okay, why? Because if I do the fast set for this type of thing, it's just gonna be too quick, and don't use fast set on molds. It's just dries so quickly, you can mess up. And sometimes when you have to do like now, and I'm going to do the white with the flow and everything, you need an epoxy that takes a long time to cure, so you have enough time to make sure everything is just working on its own. So let's get ready. I'm going to first of all take my sand and start filling up this with sand. Obviously I'm going to get all of these molds away because everything has been disinfected and clean, and the last thing that I want is the sand to end up everywhere. So let me clear up and come back to you in a minute. Okay, so as you can see, I put the sand in already. This real sand, like you can see, is 100% like with all the dirt and everything. What I like to do is I like to go in one more time, and I'm gonna do it while I'm doing the video with you. And I like to start placing things around and then see how is it gonna look. If it's gonna be too much, too little, and then fix them, because this is your time to do this. Okay, once you put the epoxy, by the way, I don't know if you can hear me properly because I'm wearing already my mask, because I already mixed the epoxy. It's just settling down. I don't want to put too much sand, but maybe I should go a little bit further with it. I'm not really sure. As you can see, this is how it is. I think it needs more color, and this one is too dark. What do you think? Sometimes I wish when I do this thing, I'm actually doing a live. I should probably start doing lives, because I can do them once a week. So I'm just gonna be playing around, trying to make this look a little bit brighter. Obviously, once we put the white and everything, it's gonna look brighter already. But yeah, I don't know if that should go there. I think that looks pretty. I don't need the rest. That would have been too much. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take them off. I know, because I'm gonna put a little bit of this mica powder on top, and then I'm gonna make a really small layer of plain epoxy first to cover this. So yeah, I don't want to mix directly this with the epoxy for today. I think it might be a big mistake. Somebody watching this might be shouting at me because I'm absolutely insane, but I think it's gonna be a good idea to just, I could put glitter on it, but I think the mica is gonna be more than enough. Okay, those are the bits that I'm using. I'm basically gonna open my mica, and then I'm gonna take this popsicle. I'm going to kind of like, if it was glitter, kind of just like going around like this. Oh, now it's all in there. Amazing. Amazing, Nadia, amazing. You just try to spread it around, and then you just, but you know the concept of what I mean, yeah? So I'm just going to be mixing this up and hopefully making it look more shiny, the sand. So it's just like if the sand was on top of this, so it's all gonna bright up. That's kind of the idea of what I have. And I don't know if the camera is catching this bright color that I'm getting with the mica, but it's just looking really pretty, exactly how I want. You know when sometimes you're at the beach and the sand seems to have this glittery effect under the sand? That's what I'm trying to achieve here. Obviously now I need to make sure all my sand is back in place. There we go. That looks pretty and shiny. Okay, so I'm not gonna need this one anymore because it's all done. I'm gonna see if I can put it closer. Can you see how much it shines? I'm just kind of shaking the camera because sometimes it gets too better. Okay, so let's start with epoxy. Let's just chat and more working. Okay, so we are on day 2. That's absolutely dry. You can see how beautiful it looks. I'm waiting for my epoxy to set, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna first put a clear coat of epoxy first, and then we're gonna put the pearl white that we mentioned before. Okay, so the reason why you do that is because you want the white to be runny, and if you just put the white, it's not gonna run. And I'm not gonna suggest you do the white when you do the blues, because it's gonna be too mixed and it's not gonna have that wave effect that you always see on all the posts and everything. Okay, so let me finish setting up the epoxy and then put a little bit of that. I don't know if you can see. Can you see how much is left? How much is left in there? So all of that has to be covered now because we are in kind of like our last layer. So you have to kind of cover it and then put the white. The white is just going to be like a decoration thing. So you have to put the last layer. Let's say like that, okay? This is your last coat, and then the white to decorate, and then just like torch it, and then that will be it, okay? So make sure, look, I can easily put my finger into it. Be really careful, do not move the mold. You don't want any underneath epoxy going on, okay? So my epoxy is nice and warm now. Let's move on. I'm just gonna use this cup. I'm gonna put the epoxy here first without mica, and then later I'm gonna put mica. Do not try to waste things. The reason is I need to buy more of the silicone ones because I damaged them. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's go and do that. Okay, doke. So let's put the clear epoxy here first. I'm gonna go through all of these because obviously this one just have to be covered 100%. I'm just gonna put the epoxy everywhere, even if some of them are not gonna be covered. Just to create that shiny in all of them. Make sure you reach all the corners. And then pour the rest in. I'm gonna see if that will be enough. It might not be, might have to put a little bit more. Let it be. As you can see, always the epoxy tends to move by itself and go to place. So just pour it in, let it run, and then you see if you need some more or not, rather than keep floating it up and then just mess it. Obviously right now the sand area is absolutely covered. That's the point, because obviously that's what we needed. And then we're gonna put some more, not overflowing it, because again we need the white one, okay? And we don't want the white one to be a chunky bit coming out. I think that will be enough, and I could use this one for the white one. If you need it, you can take the same stick that you use for your epoxy and then kind of guide the epoxy around, so you make sure you create an even layer of epoxy rather than just an overflow bit and other bits is not covered. Also here, make sure you reach all the corners. Okay, so what I like to do now is I like to torch this because I want to kill those bubbles and start extra warming up that epoxy, and then the white one will just go in ready to finish the work. But right now we need to kill all of these extra bubbles that are absolutely unnecessary on our tray. Alright, so now with the epoxy I have left, I'm going to put my pearl white mica. Give me a minute. I think what I have left, it will be more than enough. Okay, nice and shiny. Super thin, nice and shiny over there. Alright, we're doing really good. So I could say this tray is like around 500 milliliters, because right now I already used 250 for what we've done, and then yesterday I used kind of like that, so it's like a 500 milliliter, which that's like a, how much is that, 16 ounces ish. That's this tray design. Alright, so let's get on with the waves. Obviously we want a big chunk there to cover that. Stop. Stop it. Yep. And then now we're gonna squeeze our cup a little bit more, and then we're gonna create this really thin layers that are here. As I said, we want a lot of foam, so we're gonna make sure we put a lot more in here. Cover it all. Cover it all. So, and then here we're gonna put some more with the leftover thin layer. You understand what I'm doing, yeah? So I'm just kind of creating the shape of how the wave will be. And I'm just trying to cover all the edges, because okay, this has to look natural and different, but we don't want it to look like we are missing pieces to be done on the cup. Okay, that's also really important. Like always, I'm taking my pop stick and I'm squeezing in all the leftovers. Believe me, sometimes we don't realize how much leftovers are on our cups. And ladies and gentlemen, that's epoxy. And epoxy is really expensive. It's a precious material, so make sure you squeeze in your projects the entire cup out. Can you see also how these colors has changed to gorgeous ones, thanks to the little bit of epoxy? Look at that. Look at those leftovers. Can you see how much was left over? Yes, you do. In other materials, I would say like, oh, leave it. Epoxy, I squeeze out every bit out of my cups. Okay, I think that's an empty cup now. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we're going to put this away. And then we need to heat gun it, because the heat gun is the one that is gonna make the white move away. So give me a second, let me plug in my heat gun and listen to some music, because who wants to listen to the heat gun noise? Nobody. Okay, so here we are outdoors after over 24 hours drying. Obviously it's absolutely done. You can see that beautiful waves. I just adore it, but it's a little bit see-through. Can you see that? So what I'm gonna do now, it's on the back. I'm going to either, now as you can see, it's on my wood board, so it looks really nice with like a brown background, just because it seems like you know, like the bottom of the sea. As well, here I have a white paper. If I am to paint it white as well, it's a really good option. Over there you have it. You can see like all the holes will be covered in white, and that will pop up all of these blue colors up. So I might paint it all white. I'm just rethinking if I should do acrylic. I can do a layer of mica with epoxy, or I can do spray paint and then or seal it all again with a layer of epoxy. Obviously I'm gonna have to find a way. Now it's all dirty. I'm gonna find a way to, and you can see also here where I put the sand, there's 2 holes, so that's why I need to make a layer of epoxy, and I need to make sure I cover that. But that, as soon as I put on here as well, as soon as I put the epoxy, all of those holes will be covered. But I'm gonna have to put it on a surface that basically this is gonna stay standing, and I'm just pouring the epoxy on the top. But yeah, I'm still thinking, should I spray paint it? If I acrylic paint it, it might have the shapes of the brush, so I'm not really happy with that. Or I can just do a layer of another type of mica, which I think is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you in a minute as soon as I do it and I decide it. But yeah, probably I'll do that, just because again, you can see it just covers all of those areas that are there. But as you can see, it was perfectly covered, perfectly inside the mold. So yeah, and I'm gonna sand these bits to make it all nice and soft, so I don't have to worry about the front anymore. We are just worrying about the back, and in one more step we should be absolutely done with this board.